5 things that we absolutely need to see happen during this offseason. At number 5, Kmart said earlier she believes the Patriots will make the playoffs in Mike Vrabel's first year. I agree. And one of the best ways they can start spending all of that money they have is to take T. Higgins away from the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals are going to have to pay Jamar Chase. There's no way they're going to be able to pay both of those guys. What does Drake May need? He needs a great receiver. What is T. Higgins? He is a great receiver. The Patriots have all the money in the world to do it. I want to see T. Higgins in New England. Number 4. The Giants have to find a way to get Cam Ward. Cam Ward, I believe, is the quarterback with the most skills available in this year's draft. If you've kept Brian Daboll, you've done so for a reason, because he has a history of developing quarterbacks. See Allen, Josh. This is the guy that you need to do it with. If you're John Mara, find a way, probably have to move up to do it, get Cam Ward. Number 3, this is going to make some people mad at me. The Bears have to try as hard as they can to talk Marcus Freeman into becoming their new head coach. You're looking for the next Mike Tomlin, the next Bill Cowher, the next 30-something-year-old coach who is going to be a figure in the league for the next 20 years. Marcus Freeman has it. The Bears need someone who is it. They'll find an offensive coordinator to work with the quarterback. You need a leader, you need a visionary, and he's local. I love Marcus Freeman to the Bears. Number 2, Tom Brady needs to call Bill Belichick and talk him out of this nonsense with college. I'm sorry, Jeff. Jeff Saturday is probably going to beat me up. The idea of Bill Belichick as a college head coach never made sense. It doesn't make sense. It will never make sense. He was meant to be an NFL coach. Tom Brady knows better than anybody that guy is the best coach that ever lived. I believe he needs to talk him into coming back. And then finally, this should surprise no one. The Cowboys and Seion Sanders, Jerry and Deion, Jerry-on. It's a dream team. They need to make this happen. The Cowboys need to hire Seion Sanders. And as Stephen A. Smith said, if they offer him that job, I believe he takes it. So that, I believe he takes it. So let's bring in my group here.
Man, that was a lot, Greeny. That was a lot.
Keep Jeff away from me. I'm a little bit afraid to let Jeff get
You've
too
upset
close.
a lot of us with that list.
To be clear, well, how did I upset you with that list?
The T. Higgins of it all. No. Cincinnati, if they cannot figure out how to keep those 3 guys together.
They need to spend some money on their defense, Kmart. I mean, their defense was historically bad.
Here's the problem.
They already
Cincinnati
have to pay Jamar
never
Chase.
wants to spend money. They are known for historically being cheap. They, like the Steelers, like the Cowboys, have to change their ways. I'm sorry.
What else?
No, there's a difference between being cheap and being broke. Like I don't think they're cheap. I think they don't got the money to go aggressively after those things. But I mean, I agree with you on the Belichick thing, so maybe I should come on.
But what in the? Y'all better take Belichick's name out your mouth.
Who's paying the $1 million buyout? Who's paying that?
Right now it's Greeny.
Right?
Yesterday
Like,
it was
who's
Stephen
gonna
A.
pay that?
Everybody's trying to take our coach. We're in recruiting right now. Y'all back up off our recruiting. We got pictures being taken. We got high schools being visited. Y'all all should be on that side of it. Absolutely. The only one I liked the Freeman. 100% agree. That would be a home run of home runs in Chicago. And I'm 100% with you. Go find an offensive coordinator. Go develop and go find a Josh McCown. Bring him in. Go sit and develop this kind of kid. 100% agree.
I like the
bringing
Josh
that kind of
McCown.
guy.
Maybe
But Bill Belichick is a Tar Heel.
Maybe
don't any of you forget that. You're Tar Heel. College is the new NFL.
It's college is the new NFL.
Belichick's about to enter the portal, and when he does, maybe UNC can make a run at Marcus Freeman.
Yeah, they have more NIL in the NFL. All right, having said all of that, let's get back to my number 1, and that is Seion Sanders going to the Cowboys. There's a lot of people who believe that Jerry Jones is an impediment to that, and one of those people is Shannon Sharp yesterday on First Take.
What did Coach Prime have at Jackson State? Control. What does he have at Colorado? Control. What is he not going to have at Dallas? Control. Think about it. There's only 32 of these jobs, and you would think everybody is lining up to get it. Jerry ain't letting you do that. That's not going to happen, and therein lies the problem.
So, look, I mean, obviously, what Shannon is saying is something, and Jeff is not looking at it. But let's talk about this for a minute. The idea that the presence of Jerry Jones would be an impediment to Seion Sanders. Look, to some degree, all NFL coaches, general managers, and others are beholden to the owner. They make decisions all the time, whether we see them or not, whether they're as visible as Jerry or not. I'm obviously not pretending that he doesn't have more control over what goes on than in every other situation. I get that part of it. But there's another side to it, too. If you're the one who goes to Dallas and wins, Look what it has done for people's careers. Look at Roger Staubach, look at Troy Aikman, look at Tony Romo. Look what being a star on the Cowboys does for you. Deion Sanders goes from being one of the most famous people in football history to being an icon, a legend, a hero with statues for the rest of his life. I think that's appealing to someone like Deion Sanders. Hawk.
I think it is the only move that makes sense for the Dallas Cowboys. If I'm Deion Sanders, my boys ain't at Colorado no more. There's nothing tying me there. I coach my son's football team, West Pembroke Pine Optimist Youth Football. When he's gone, I ain't gonna be still coaching there, okay? And if an opportunity like the Dallas Cowboys comes along, you gotta take it. I think he can coexist with Jerry, as opposed to when if Belichick was there, it would be Belichick pulling the spotlight. I think Deion is intriguing because I genuinely think him and Jerry could work together.
Because the spotlight magnifies the point you were saying. It's not, he's not taking anything away from Jerry. It's almost like we're turning the lights up. We're turning the lights up.
I love y'all. Y'all seeing this all wrong. This ain't got nothing to do with Deion. Of course, Deion would take the job. The job is not going to be offered because of those reasons. And I'm just going to let you know, if you're Deion Sanders, what does success look like in Dallas? You just had a coach for 5 years, went 12-5, 3 of them, wins 1 playoff game, and you're getting fired. You better go win. And by the way, don't forget you got Detroit, you got Philly, you got the Commanders, you got some really good teams in that world that you got to go beat. It ain't you can out recruit them. You got to go coach them and play them.
Didn't Jerry make the call?
Jerry's got to have an $8 million buyout. And he's got to go pay him, which we know he doesn't want to do. Then he's got to reconstruct the roster.
So why did he call him? Why did he call him?
Because we're talking about him?
Yeah, because we're on air.
It might work. It could potentially work, but
I think Deion would work.
Every job has issues that make it difficult. Most of the time, you don't have a quarterback, your defense is broken. This is a job where you have a quarterback, you got a great receiver, and you got Micah Parsons. So it's attractive.
We'll see what winds up happening. I'm sure they'll be talking about the Giants of the 1960s. What do you think the chances are that it was like, you know, the Giants had a guy named Chalamet get a cup of coffee? I can't picture what
true. 1,000% that happened, yes.
I can't imagine exactly what that conversation was, but I would have loved to. All right. With that, we are back on Get Up. We are live from the Seaport. We're brought to you by Chase. The squad is revved up today, and we are looking forward to the best weekend of the NFL year. It's divisional weekend. Let's do a weekend watch. Hawk. Texans, Chiefs, Saturday, 4:30 Eastern, ESPN and ABC. What are you watching specifically in that game?
I'm watching for the Chiefs' offensive line and how they handle the Texans' defensive line. If you watch that Chargers game, the D-line put on the clinic. That entire defense put on the clinic. But Will Allen, Hunter on the other side, like especially when you think about what they're going to do at left tackle between Tooney and Humphries, that's going to matter and probably decide this football game.
Yeah, the entire Texans defense was spectacular. Jeff, what are you watching? Commanders, Lions.
Well, I mean, the MVP of the league, according to Neek, with Jaden Daniels and how he's going to attack this Detroit depleted defense.
I mean, if he didn't get hurt, he would have been the MVP of the league and we're entering mid-season.
I will say I'm super excited to watch Jaden Daniels and Dan Quinn, who is not afraid to know that's the best part of his team, to push the envelope. It's going to be exciting. Yeah, good coaching. Going to be
the truth is, Daniels won't be in the MVP conversation, but it's hard to picture being more valuable than he was this year. Neek, Rams, Eagles, what are you watching?
Oh, yeah, it's no surprise there. Line play and running game.
Let's go!
That is it. That is going to decide this game. Can this Rams D-line compete with the offensive line of the Eagles and stop this rushing attack? As you guys saw last time they matched up, the answer was no. Saquon had more than 200 yards. Saquon, Himbo just sent me. He had 4 untouched rushes for 160 yards. That means nobody touched him.
Yeah,
so somebody got to do something about that this week.
And then finally, Kmart will give you Ravens, Bills, Sunday night. What are you watching?
I mean, this is the ultimate rematch, and both of these squads look different. At the time, the Ravens had the worst pass defense in the NFL. Their defense is much improved. But the bigger issue, the bigger story here to me is that the Bills' injuries in the last game. No Matt Milano, no Taron Johnson, no Terrell Bernard, and also Amari Cooper wasn't on the roster. So when you look at these teams, don't think that the Bills are just going to get smacked out the building.
You know my favorite part of this show?
What's that?
Is that we're talking about the 2 leading candidates for MVP, and she didn't mention either one. It was about real ball.
That's what this show
real
is.
ball, dog. That's what I'm talking about.
Ball knowers talking about O-line play.
Me and Mad Dog both peaked, dog. He peaked with you. I peaked with y'all. We got O-line talk. I mean, God, I'm out.
Golly.
Y'all be good. I'm walking off.
You did your
It's
work.
been good. Himbo, we finished, y'all. We done it. Hey, I'm gonna take my shoes off and leave them right there because I'm retired. I'm out.
You can go to
Already plummeted by talking about offensive line play.
I need to what's the word? Cleanse, purify our group now by talking about Jerry Jones and the best catches of the weekend in a segment we call
Receive it.
Let's go. Let's start it off with Terry McLaurin and the Washington Commanders. You talk about contested catches. This guy is the best contested catch artist in the league. Ooh. That's both by stats and the eyeball test. You're going into between two guys, all hands over the shoulder. There's really not a point anywhere in Terry McLaurin's radius where it's not catchable. Wow. This is routine for him.
It's like perfect coverage, right?
Can I tell you, yesterday I talked to Zach Ertz on the phone, and he said the same thing, and he's the guy who played with A.J. Green on the back end. He said Terry McLaurin catches everything.
He's not the biggest guy. You don't consider the smaller guys to be the contested catch guys. That guy's the best. Of course I do, baby. Next up, we got Tyler Higbee. Now, these are kind of like two-part awards for the quarterback and the receiver because his throw is ridiculous. This is like the beginning of the Minnesota Vikings game, and it was at this point where I knew the Vikings are in trouble.
Let them know.
Matt Stafford got a lot of good sleep last night. He wasn't up watching and doom scrolling. And when you have catches like this early on, it's hard to contain. Shout out to Tyler Higbee. Last but not least, Todd Johnson.
Let's
go Terps. This is the throw. Is he a Terp? This is the catch. Shout out to the Terps. Fourth down, you have a running back in the back of the end zone. The ball is inside, low. You're sliding on feet down, feet up so they don't go out of bounds. This is one of the best catches that I've seen in the playoffs in the last recent years, let alone just this season.
That's nasty. On fourth down, to make that play, to throw that pass, and have the trust in a guy.
But yet these are the same guys that were trying to tell me earlier that, the Bills got to watch out for the Ravens.
One more time.
This ain't about you. This is about him right now.
And I have an honest answer, or an honest question. Are his feet up? Is that luck, or does he really know that's where the goal line is, and I have to lift my feet while I make this catch?
It's not natural to hold your feet that way.
I'm saying
that is an awareness to know I'm close. I don't know how close I am.
Like if he was that aware of the side of the back of the end zone that he actually lifted his feet, that is genuinely one of the greatest plays that you will ever see.
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
I got to be honest. The throw is better than the catch. The catch is incredible as well. Both can be equally incredible.
Well, we'll see if we're going to see any of those throws this weekend because
các bạn đã đến với kênh YouTube của mình. Video ngày hôm nay của mình sẽ là những video tô mò. Đây, những video tô mò của những sản phẩm con vật đây các bạn ạ. Đây là con chim cánh cụt này, mình tô rất chi là nhiều con vật. Ở đây con cá sấu này, nhiều lắm. Các bạn hãy cùng theo dõi mình tô những sản phẩm nha. Đây. Và để tô được sản phẩm của mình không thể nào thiếu được hộp săn mò. Đây là hộp săn mò của mình, thường dùng này, nó phụ trợ cho mình tô mò sản phẩm. Và bây giờ các bạn cùng theo dõi mình tô mò nha.
Bây giờ mình sẽ tiếp tục tô mò nha các bạn.